This is the first game I ever made, and I sold it for $2,500. Hi friends, today I wanted to talk about the game development process. This may be about the first game I ever made, but it's really about the first game I ever finished, and everything it took to get here. Now back to the game. It's called The Endless Tower. I know it looks super simple and janky, but I made it over 10 years ago. I wrote it in ActionScript for Adobe Flash. Remember those days? Websites like Addicting Games, Newgrounds, and Congregate. So this is the untold story, the multiple failed ideas before landing on this one. Let's back up to the beginning. I just graduated and I always wanted to make an actual game. I took a couple classes on programming, but nothing too advanced. Chatting with a friend who was a computer scientist, and we started brainstorming and then started building a game. Just FYI, all the code to demo builds have been lost, so you'll have to use your imagination here with me. It started as a tower defense game, like Plants vs. Zombies. We'd use a grid-like structure to lay down towers, but the twist was that there would be another player or boss on the other side. It would kind of look like Puzzle Fighter. There would be a character to represent you and your opponent, and as you progress and destroy the enemy's towers and defenses, your character's animations would reflect that. On top of that, I wanted to add quick time events to cast spells to counter the other player. As you can tell, it's already getting way too complicated. I just remember having to place towers, then press QuickTime events while watching your opponent all at the same time. It was just unplayable with a steep learning curve. In this moment, I could have just gave up on game development. I created a task way too complicated and difficult and nearly impossible to finish. The hardest part was to let go of everything we've made. I threw it all out the window and started from scratch, with one key principle in mind: keep it simple. For some of us, it's easy to dream up all these amazing features and mechanics, and as gamers, it's easy to imagine an elaborate world filled with complexity, especially drawing influence from all the games that we've played in the past. But sometimes you just need to keep the idea simple, or at least start simple, and work within these bounds. After being so overwhelmed with complexity, the only thing I wanted to do at this point was to make something simple, and just to get something done. So that's how Endless Tower came to be. The idea was a remix of two games I loved: Taunty and WarioWare. Taunty was this addicting flash game that was basically whack-a-mole with progression and upgrades. I loved the simplicity of the controls with the use of the number pad, so I used that and mixed it with a variety of nonsensical minigames, just like WarioWare. You progress up the tower as you complete these minigames. These games are super random, from shifting gears of a car, to counting cubes, math problems, copying shapes, hitting targets, sorting things by size, and more random things like that. The idea of the tower was seamless because the animation would scroll up the tower as you progress. Also, all that crappy art that you see, I drew that in MS Paint. There's also this paper crane I took pictures of and created a stop motion animation for. And a friend drew some cute animals to top it all off. And that was it. Finished the game in about a month and sold it for $2,500. It's wild to think that in this present day, I could make this entire game in Unity in a day or two. Long story short, the small success of this game is why I still make games today. For more stories about game development, like and subscribe. And I'll see you guys in the next one.